Next up, at UFC 311, we have the co-main event of the evening. We have Merab Dvalishvili defending his belt for the very first time against Umar Nurmagomedov. Merab Dvalishvili, 18-4 in his career. He is 5-0 in his last 5, and he is on an 11-fight win streak, taking on Umar Nurmagomedov, undefeated in his career with 9 stoppages. This is a great fight. I'm not going to read each of their credentials as I normally do. We all know Merab has ridiculous cardio and will just charge forward and shoot takedown after takedown after takedown after takedown, and he can do that for as long as he wants. The only real shade you can throw his way is that the chin might not necessarily be there. We watched Henry Cejudo drop him a little bit, get him a little wobbled, bring him down to a knee. But outside of that, and outside of that loss to Ricky Simone 11 fights ago, Merab has just been an absolute cardio machine who will shoot over and over and over and over. He's taking on Umar Nurmagomedov. You would assume by that last name that he's going to fight exactly like Merab. And while he does have insanely high-level wrestling, he's not exactly a dive for the legs kind of guy. He will entertain the striking. He will hang out. He's got very good striking at that. Jacob, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. What?
Oh, you're completely frozen on screen. So, okay.
Showing back?
You might, I don't know if your internet or something. You're literally frozen on screen. Yeah, hop off, hop back on, see what happens. Umar Nurmagomedov isn't as quote-unquote desperate of a wrestler as Merab Dvalishvili is. And I don't mean desperate in a negative way. I just mean Umar will absolutely entertain a full-blown striking match for the entirety of a fight. Umar's got very high-level striking. We saw that in the Corey Sandhagen fight. He was hanging with Corey in the striking for the majority of that fight, winning many of those striking exchanges, and then would go to the wrestling. Umar Nurmagomedov is this next generation of Nurmagomedov. I mentioned the quick picks. Instead of the full ridiculous beard and no mustache that's just going to wrestle like crazy, we get a nice, tight, clean beard and a little bit of mustache, and all of a sudden, we've got a guy that can strike and wrestle. Now, the question becomes, who wins this fight? I think most people are just blindly saying Umar. And I'm going to pick Umar Nurmagomedov to win this fight as well because I think he's the more well-rounded fighter, right? If he's not the better wrestler, they are equal wrestlers, and he is, without question, the better striker. I also appreciate the Nurmagomedovs and their dedication to this sport. There is no such thing as downtime or fun. They are 100% all businesses their entire life. So I think Umar wins. Better striker, as good of, if not the better wrestler, and the work ethic is absolutely insane. The only hesitation becomes, what's he going to look like on his back foot? If Merab is just full-blown charging forward, shooting takedown after takedown after takedown after takedown, can Umar just defend these takedowns and win scramble after scramble? Or is he eventually going to not do as well backing up as he does going forward? But Umar's going to be the pick. The wrestling might cancel itself out, and then if we're stuck with striking, Umar is by far, without question, the better striker. Going with Umar here. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I'm going to read you a tweet. This tweet's from August 4th of this year. I believe it was right after Umar beat Corey Sandhagen. This is from me, and I quote, "By the way, no idea who beats Umar. He made Corey look like a fringe top 10 guy, and Corey is really good. Umar was forcing takedowns early and looked a little bit flustered he couldn't get them. Khabib told him to slow down and trust his hands. He did exactly that and dominated the next 3 rounds, as much as you can dominate a guy like Corey, and showed that he's fine for 5. Apart from a weird KO that can always happen, I literally have no idea who beats him." And I truly believe that to my core. Maybe a sneaky guy like Petr Yan, right, with the boxing and the scrambling abilities can give him some issues. That's probably the next guy that you're looking at for a guy like Umar. But Umar is just so fucking skilled. He keeps range so well with the kicks. He doesn't even need to use the wrestling. He showed that against Corey, right? Early on, it's like, oh, Corey's defending these takedowns. And it's like, oh, no. And then people forget that this guy is a very, very good striker, defensively sound, throws the kicks out there at range. Merab is going to have a really tough time closing the distance on this guy. And I know that people love Merab, and he's a fun guy, and he just can be relentless and all these takedowns and all this style and overwhelm people and stuff like that. But when you are reckless in your entries against a high-level guy who's not scared to defend the takedown, right? Because a lot of guys will just, if you're just coming at them, they're like, oh shit, I can't do anything. I gotta drop my level. I gotta drop my hands. Where a guy like Umar will stay in the pocket and stay ready to strike because, oh, you got on my hips. I don't give a flying fuck if you get on my hips. You took me down a little bit. Guess what? I'm gonna get right back to my feet because I know what I'm doing. Merab already kind of lacks control in the wrestling. If he was a dominant, take you down and just kind of grind you, was averaging 3 takedowns a fight because he can just hold people, that's not Merab. He is fucking firing nonstop, and if he's able to pull that off in this fight, I will be fucking amazed. And will be one of the biggest wins I think the UFC, especially an underdog story, has ever seen. If Merab is able to just dog this guy for 5 fucking rounds, win his decision. Umar is just too good in the strike, and we've seen Merab kind of get chinned right against Cejudo, against Marias. He's a tough guy. He works through it. He was put out against Ricky Simone like 3 times in those submissions. So he's been in some interesting spots. And against Umar, I think Umar could make him pay. So I don't know if Umar's going to finish him. I think I respect Merab enough to be, I think Umar kind of just plays that karate game, stays at the range, defend the takedown, maybe offensive wrestle a little bit. But I would be very surprised if Merab's able to pull this off.
Yeah, I'm on the Umar side as well. Like I said, my only concern is if Umar's backing up the whole time because Merab's just shot. And then it's,
Everybody.
Shot. Okay.
And that wasn't even the game plan versus Sean. I mean, he was just kind of waiting for – it was actually a master game plan because he kind of waited – instead of pressing Sean against the fence, I talked about this before, instead of being the normal Rab, which I'm sure Sean was ready for. I'm sure all they drilled was take down the fence against the fence, right? With the hips, splitting the legs, make sure switch off the single, and using that fence behind him, expecting Merab to just shoot. Merab lulled Sean into the middle and was able to shoot takedowns in the open octagon. I don't think that shit's going to work against Umar.
No, probably not. A lot of people talking about the over 4.5. Is that a lock? I do think over 4.5 is probably solid here. I debated parlaying the over 4.5 here and the over 4.5 in the main event, but then you're rooting for decisions.
Head kick KO in the 3rd round by Umar.
Well, Umar does have kicks specifically for some reason are nasty. So I don't know if I'm going to do anything with the over, not because I don't trust it, more because what am I rooting for then? Just pitter patter or wrestle heavy. So we'll see how that goes. $9,200 in DraftKings Fantasy. You do have 5 full rounds. And if you think Umar gets it done, if you think he's a dominant, then that may make sense. But if you think this looks like the Corey Sandhagen fight, where it's mostly striking, that $9,200 may not be worth the money. So it takes a little bit of investigation here to see if you think he's going to be worth it or not. But I do think Umar gets it done. And I think we have the belt changed hands. I do feel bad for Merab a little bit. He finally got his title shot after begging and earning it for many years. And then they're like, here's the best guy the division has seen in a long time. And it's not even like the UFC hates him. Umar earned it. So it's not even like something's afoot here. Like Umar's the next guy in line. It is what it is. If you do want to unlock all the picks, the bets, the tools, the round line leans, the artificial intelligence, and everything else that we offer, it's only freaking $10 for an entire month. WeWantPicks.com.
And
click become a member.
I mean,
at the top.
I don't want to be a Sean O'Malley apologist here, but I did rewatch that fight the other day. And there really is an argument for Sean winning that first round. And there was a couple judges that already gave him 2 rounds after that. So I'm just saying it wasn't like a crazy. I know people like, oh, it wasn't really a dominant performance, and he fucking got hurt and could have got put out in the 5th round. So I think there literally is a case to be made that Sean fucking won that fight. I'm not even bullshitting.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I did not watch it again.
2 judges already gave him 2
live,
rounds.
I didn't feel it. Yeah, but did he deserve those rounds?
Yeah, of course he deserved those rounds because I don't think Merab got takedowns in those rounds, or just a little bit.
I'm watching live. That's not how it felt, but it wouldn't be the first time that you're in the moment feelings versus level head are very different.